Well, it's Wink and Pucker time. This is Melody. I am Brian, aka Wink and Pucker, and welcome to another edition of our little program. Today we're going to, as usual, tell you a little bit about Tori Bell, and then we're going to talk to you about yet another refreshing summer beverage idea, and then we're going to talk to you a little bit about hope and why you should never lose it. But first, here is Wink with Tori Bell News.
Yeah, we have a bundle going on right now, which is called the Siren Bundle, and it comes in this velvet Tori Bell bag, which is so pretty. And inside we have our Siren mascara, which is really cool because it has little fibers inside which help lengthen your lashes. And you put 1 or 2 coats and it makes your lashes longer. And also inside is our the Works Brow Gel, and it comes in 4 colors. And I have the taupe. It comes in brown, dark brown, and black. You have those 4 choices. And also is our Wildflower eyeshadow palette, and I have it on today. And it's really fun to play with, and so that's that bundle. And today I have on something different for my lashes. I have part of our Illusion lashes, and I have on what's called Fantasy. So you can see that they come 2 pairs in a set, and I have those on today. And I can't come in close so you can see them. I can try, but I don't think you can really see them up close. But I have those on today. So that's the Tori Bell News.
They look good, ladies, trust me. They look really good. Every week we try to give you some ideas about ways to enjoy the summer. And we enjoy having refreshing beverages during a sultry summer day like it is today in southeastern Pennsylvania. So this is an easy one. And all this is 3 ounces of vodka and about 9 ounces of cranberry juice and a little lemon garnish on the glass. It couldn't be any easier to make. Top it off with a little club soda over ice, and that will make 2 nice glasses of a delicious enjoyment for the summer. So try it. Simple to make, easy, very refreshing. Lastly, I think every one of us at one point in time or another in our lives has experienced a feeling of hopelessness. Things just seem to be so bad, there just doesn't seem to be any hope. And with this pandemic affecting people all around the globe, more people perhaps are feeling that way today than they have for a very long time. Well, we have both gone through our periods of hopelessness. And we'd like to talk to you about it because we're living proof that there's never any reason to be hopeless. And here's Wink with a little story of her own.
So I was divorced about 18 years ago, and I had done the online dating, and for about 15 years or so, on and off. And I have stories, everybody, that are crazy. And I'm just going to give you a little snippet of 3 stories. And one story was I had my first date with one guy, and we met in Delaware, and why I did that, I don't know. And we met for lunch, and we were sitting there, and he more or less told me I wasn't beautiful enough. And that was really nice, So, and then I had another date with a guy who invited me out to lunch. He invited me, and we get there, and the check comes, and he had no money. And then, what was the third one, honey? Oh gosh, there's just so many crazy. Oh, the third one, we met at Bonefish for dinner. I get there, he's not there. I sit down. He waited in the parking lot to see what kind of car I drove. He was a real gem. And the stories just go on, and some I can't tell on camera, but I had given up hope that I was ever going to find anybody. I just knew there was nobody out there for me. And it was kind of a sad time because I had just given up hope that there was anybody out there for me. And I knew God had somebody, but in my heart, I had given up hope. And it was lonely, and I didn't want to spend the rest of my life alone. And it was just a lonely time. And so everybody said, you'll meet someone at the right time. It'll happen when you least expect it. And I was like, yeah. You're full of baloney. And so I had even given up on this guy, and you know the story from our previous video. But God brought him at the right time. And then I realized that you should never give up hope, because God has a plan for each and every one of us. And he was in my plan, in his plan.
And just to make the story straight, one of the reasons that she gave up on me early was because of a date that she had had with an individual that convinced her that there wasn't a man left on this planet that wasn't a pig.
Which you heard previously. Yes.
But so be it. As for myself, my wife lost her battle with colon cancer about 5 years ago. And it was a difficult period, and there's probably many of you who have had to go through something very similar, if not the same. And as time went by, I was learning how to live by myself. My next door neighbor and dear friend encouraged me to start online dating myself. So we went to Christian Mingle, and very early on, I wound up having some coffee with a very nice young lady who was very good conversation, but it was obvious that the two of us really didn't have a great deal in common. And that was it. And then responses to me were fewer and farther between, and I was getting less and less hopeful about the whole idea. And where I used to be anxious to check Christian Mingle every day to see what was happening, it would get to the point where I'd look maybe a couple times a week or maybe once every 2 weeks. And then one day I saw this Wink girl's picture.
And I wasn't winking.
And she wasn't winking, but it just struck me. I just had to pursue this. Now, I was learning to live alone, and there were some parts of that were fine. Let's face it. You do what you want to do when you want to do it. You don't answer to anyone. You're just on your own. And some parts of that are nice, but the parts that aren't so nice are the lonely evenings with me and the dog sitting on the couch staring at the TV or doing other things like that. It was tough. Loneliness, as many of you have experienced, I'm sure, is a tough thing to deal with. So that was my degree of hopelessness. I thought I was bachelor forevermore. But the Lord did see to it that I saw her face on Christian Mingle, and it struck me. He knew it would, and he had me pursue her. And the long story short is, after 2 years, we were married, and life couldn't be better. There's no reason to be hopeless. And there's one common denominator that Wink and I both have, and that's the Lord. We put our trust in the Lord, and even though that gets shaky when you're going through some rough times, if you believe, he'll find a path for you. So if we can leave you with anything at all, this pandemic continues, and we don't know when on earth this is going to be over, and we're all sick of it. But don't give up hope. Neither one of us had any real reason to believe that we would be anything but some older people living by themselves at this point in time in our life. And as you can see, that just isn't the case. So stay hopeful. Have a great, refreshing summer beverage like this little concoction we made. And keep your eyes on the Lord, and He'll keep His eye on you. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.